engine is still wheeling. Good evening and thank you for tuning in. This is just a quick and effective tutorial on installing this DRC Edge 2 taillight from 12 O'Clock Labs on a DRZ400. My bike is a 2003, but the bike hasn't changed in like 20 years, so 2000 going forward all the way through 2019, this should be an effective install for that same bike. Basically what I had was the original Edge taillight from 12 O'Clock Labs. It looks like this. It sits inside this housing, and it has this reflector over it. You can see it's kind of raised up, and there's also this separate 3 LED board that operated the rear license plate illumination. The new board, they've incorporated these 3 lights into the main board. They're down here on the bottom. You can't see them because it's inside here already. But basically all you have to do is unbolt this tail light from the back of the bike once you have it installed. If you haven't installed one already, you would want to remove the stock bracket and all that, and I'll give you a look at that later, and bolt this up. Basically what this does is it eliminates all the need for all the extra wires, separate wires for turn signals. You can just bolt this thing up, wire it up to the factory plugs. Rear license plate illumination comes out. It gets rid of a bunch of wires. You get to have a really clean install to get your running lights, your brake lights, your left and right turn signals. And it looks really nice. Less stuff to break as you're going from the road to trails. And I think it's just a great way to upgrade the taillight feature on the DRZ. Keep your bike legal, but make it more suitable for riding trails and off-road. Again, this is a DRC Edge 2 from 12 O'Clock Labs. I've been really happy with their products. They make great stuff. This is another install. So basically everything's color-coded. These are plugs that plug into the factory plugs on the bike. You have an orange, a red, and a black. Wire them up according to the same thing on this pigtail. Down here you have a blue and a white. You can see these plugs are keyed. They only go one way, so you can't really mess it up. If you wire these up according to the colors on the harness, same with these plugs only go one way. There is an additional black wire on the bike on each of these plugs, which is not necessary because these turn signals get their constant voltage from this 12 volt constant, and they only need these 2 wires for the flasher relay to send the signals of when the turn signals are on. So that's it. The rest of the video I'll show you how to install this in the bike. So now that we have the light all wired up, bring it out here to the bike. You need to take off these 2 side panels covering the battery and the air box. Over here there's one big one that goes over this whole side. Pretty simple stuff. They're just 10mm bolts. The light mounts right here on the bracket. You can get rid of the whole factory bracket. If you know a DRZ, you know what that looks like. You get it off there with the turn signals and the license plate holder and all that stuff. Just strip it off. Get this thing installed. You can route the wires up through here. They come out a little hole in the rear fender right here. And again, these are the factory plugs that I wired up earlier. And they fit right in the DRZ factory plugs. Simple as that. The blue corresponds to the light green, so you can't plug them in the wrong way. And the white corresponds to the black and white. Again, plugs are keyed. Can't plug them in the wrong way. One thing I did notice with this install is that if the battery on the bike is low at all, this turn signal will not function properly. This is the running light and the brake light still will, but the turn signals themselves won't function. The light will just kind of strobe a little bit as the flasher relay is sending the electrical signal back. So you want to make sure your battery is fully charged. I would recommend running your bike while you do it, or keeping it on a tender or whatever, because it threw me off a little bit. Let's go ahead and start it up and make sure it works. So like I said, it's best to test the light with the bike running, because if you don't, you have the battery drained, this thing won't work right. So now I have the bike running, I have it all hooked up. This is a look at what it looks like. There's your running light, brake light, left turn, right turn. You can also reprogram this taillight according to whatever kind of blinker signal you want. There's 7 different settings in the instruction manual that comes from 12 O'Clock Labs. This is the default one. I like it the best. It works fine for me, but you can mess around with it however you want. Here's a look at it with the brake light on and the turn insulate all this with electrical tape, tidy these wires up nicely, put all the covers back on, and the bike will be set up ready to ride again with this new taillight turn signal, the DRC Edge 2 from 12 O'Clock Labs. Got rid of all these extra wires and turn signals right here. I was able to ditch all these extra wires, all this stuff I had underneath my rear fender. These were my old turn signals, and you can see they were getting broken and ripped off all the time. I had to keep refastening them. This new light will eliminate that problem. Plus, it looks super slick on the bike. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informational. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe, like, comment, make fun of me, tell me what I'm doing wrong, whatever. I just want to see you watching this and getting something out of it. It does something for me too. And I'll see you next time. Cascade TV. Pro tip for the day: if you're going to test your bike's electrical components, make sure the battery's charged. I just had to bump start this thing twice, and it's not very fun to do with the 400, but I got the job done. So here's a final look at the bike. It's all put back together. Pretty bike, isn't it? Almost pretty as my wife. There's that tail light. Left turn. Right turn. And the most important part, will it still wheelie? Please, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're gonna ride quads, ATVs, dirt bikes, motorcycles, side-by-side, whatever, anything where your head might be in jeopardy, please wear a helmet.